Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the show. Today we're going to be painting on this 20 by 20 inch linen canvas. And down here are the materials we will be using today. The paints we will be using: titanium white, burnt umber, ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, cad orange, cad yellow, sap green, and alizarin crimson. And this is a large, bright, and we've got this little filbert brush. In this container, I have some odorless mineral spirits that we'll be using from time to time. These blue shop towels that I enjoy, that I will be keeping right here next to me. And some protective gloves that I will be using once in a while. Let's get started. This is always the best part of my week. I love this. I love everything about it. Sunflowers, ladies and gentlemen, 2 of them. But before we do that, we need to cover the whole thing blue. I don't want to paint on a white canvas. So let's start. Ultramarine blue. You know what? Let's just grab a paper towel. Screw it. Ultramarine blue. Add it to this bowl. And white. Mix those together with some paint thinner. Make a nice blue. And look at this. Let's add a little bit of this orange. This will tone down the blue. Now we can just cover this whole thing. A little bit more of this. Get it nice and thin. Cover this whole thing. This isn't about getting a lot of paint down. It's actually about getting very little. We are just staining this canvas so it's not white. Our first step. And the reason why I do this is because, hey, if I forget to paint an area, this blue color can show through. And against our sunflowers we will be painting today, it'll be nice to have this blue color around their petals. So I'm going to also do the sides of the canvas. Look at this. See that? Rub it on the sides of the canvas. Someone might see that eventually if they don't frame it. There we go. Oh, what a beautiful blue color. We will now discard this shop towel. I'll grab another one and start rubbing away, removing all the excess paint. Oh. Because with oil paints, layer after layer, if you put too much oil at the beginning, ooh, you're gonna struggle. You will struggle. If you're painting in one go, like today, the alla prima method. That means, hey, we're going to paint quickly, we're going to paint it fast. This is not the Bob Ross method. A lot of people get confused here. Show kind of looks like Bob Ross, but it's not. It's a different method. This is a traditional way to start. A quick underpainting, good color that won't be noticed. Something to just start with. I'm going to discard this paper towel and grab another one. See, getting all this off. See that? Getting it all off. But that color remains. Now tighten this up again. And with that, we are ready to begin. There we go. Beautiful. Removing one of these gloves. Now using this bowl and this big brush, let's grab some blue and a little bit of alizarin crimson, mix those together and make a nice lavender color. Oh, that's perfect. I want some distant hills that won't really be noticed. Something in the background here, far away, just to allude to something happening. Look at that. Oh, that's just great. Easy, easy. I want it to look kind of blurry, kind of far away. No detail there. Just something happening. Maybe we grab a little bit of this sap green, throw that in here, and a little bit of white, and we can allude to a few little things happening here. Again, most of this will be covered up. Lighten that up. There. Now, grabbing a paper towel, we'll have some fun. We'll just kind of make it go away. Bring it back, soften those edges. See that? Look at that. Soften those edges right up. I don't want these edges to be noticed because I want our eye to go to the flowers. That's what's important. And with painting, it's all about controlling where the eye's going. You may notice once in a while I'm going to be looking off to the side here at some photos that I took of some sunflowers as inspiration. They will help me as I go along. You can use photos, but many times, don't try to just copy a photo, folks. It doesn't usually work out. A painting is a different thing altogether. All right. Hey, let's grab this big brush now, some more paint thinner. Let's make a dark color. I've got this ultramarine blue, sap green. I want this very dark. Oh, and some burnt umber. Mix those together. More blue, more sap green. Let's start thinking about some dark areas. Oh, look at that. Isn't that nice? That's a good dark color. Let's sort of think about where some dark leaves could be. Well, getting in this dark base color is nice. That way we can paint light colors on top of it. That's normal with oil painting, to put down dark colors first. We can have a big leaf here. Maybe one here. There. And again, these will be our darkest colors that we use for these leaves. We can have a big one here, coming down, and down here. More dark colors. That's a good little start there. We might add some more. That'll be a lot of fun. Let's think about some stems now. We can have one coming down like this. One coming down like that. Little things coming out. This will be rather impressionistic. This week I went to the Getty Center near Los Angeles and I witnessed irises for the first time by Vincent. What a delightful painting. There were many great paintings that I got to see there. I spent the most time in front of irises. That was very inspirational for me as a lover of Vincent and his work. You know, let's add some cad yellow to this. Bring it up. Just make it farther away looking. A little bit of white. That's fine. And we can put some greenery sort of farther away. Little things happening. Distant trees or bushes. Stuff like that. Sort of filling in these areas. Remember, this is all about just getting these colors down first. This is not about any detail here. And a lot of people realize that watching this show. They realize, hey, you know, just start. You don't need to labor over all these details. Ooh, let's add some orange. Warm it up. Add some warmth to some areas in the background. That's nice. Get some nice colors down. It's not looking like much yet, but it will. It'll look like flowers, I promise. And again, with oil painting, it is about just thinking through what you're trying to do and doing the right step at the right time. That's nice. But again, it's forgiving. I don't do everything, you know, perfectly planned out. There are little mistakes that happen, little things that really ultimately can make it better in the end. So we don't need to stress. We can always fix things. You may see me do that here today. Let's change that or this. There, big brush, stuff in the background, little things. See that? Little things happening. Oh, a little bit of that dark color is on there too, so that's just adding the illusion of detail, but no actual detail. Just lovely. Just lovely. Okay, now going to clean this brush. Grab a paper towel. I hold the paper towel in my left hand with a glove. Clean it. Clean it off regularly. That's important to keep a clean brush. Well, let's put in the basic idea of these flowers. I think it's about time. Using this big brush, let's grab some burnt sienna, put it in this bowl. I'm using this bowl just to save my palette at first, because all this paint with the paint thinner can run and get messy. So I like to keep it simple at first. Burnt umber and burnt sienna, mixing those together in this bowl. See that? Yeah, just until I'm happy with it. Oh, let's add some more burnt umber. Make it quite dark. And a little bit of blue. Or, yeah, a little bit of blue. And we will replenish these colors periodically. Let's bring in a big dark circle here. Ooh. Let's get something in here. Something big. This will be our main kind of flower looking at us. Big sunflower. And again, we're getting in the dark colors first. Painting a circle. Doesn't need to be perfect. We just need to have fun doing it. And that's what painting is all about, and that is why this show is called Painting Therapy. This is my therapy time. I'm not a therapist, I'm an artist. But the paints are my therapy. They are my therapist. And the act of painting is very special for me. It's more important than the art. Doesn't matter if this painting ends up in the trash. Doesn't matter. What matters is having fun doing it. Too many artists get caught up in, oh, is this any good? Just paint. You'll figure it out as you go. Okay, look at that. Yeah. Very fun. Work on those stems again. Ooh. Maybe add a few more little things here and there. Fun. Very, very fun. You know, while we have this dark color, let's grab our smaller brush here. And grab a little bit more of this. Make it not quite as dark. Burnt sienna, burnt umber. Back here, let's put in a few little guys. Just little things that might poke through here. Little flowers. Now let's put some dark marks over here. And when we put that bright flowery color around it, it'll look like a flower. There. Wild sunflowers. There. If you'd like to see, there's another show on this channel where I painted sunflowers. Multiple. Different techniques. I like to change things up. All right. That's enjoyable. Hey, I can't even resist. Let's bring in some of this orange. I just want to see what it'll look like. Grab this orange. I'm going to discard this bowl for now. Grab some of that orange. Just bright. Right through here. Just boom. See what's going on. What is happening there? Wow. And as we get these colors down, it'll sort of inform what we can do. It'll give us permission to keep going. Let our imagination start. Look at that. Isn't that fun? All right. Now let's bring in a unassuming orange color. Let's mix orange, and we're going thicker now. Cover up this paint thinner for now. Burnt sienna and orange. Mix those together. There we go. Not too saturated, not too bright either. Just like me. All right. Let's start putting in some petals and see what happens. I mean, and let's let each one of them be unique, and let's have fun here. This is the fun part. I always love when I'm painting flowers to think of them as people, as a portrait. Vincent did that with his irises. Each one unique. There is no formula. As Robert Henry would say, we should not fall back on technique. We shouldn't assume that we know everything and have the same little toolbox that we keep referring to. Becoming an artist isn't about mastering drawing and then mastering a handful of techniques and then using those techniques for the rest of your career. At least that's my opinion, and Robert Henry would agree. He was around a while ago, about 150 years ago. Good artist. But what we should do is cultivate a spirit of play as we paint, right? We should let ourselves go and let ourselves explore and play like a kid. Be like a kid when you're painting. Why not? You remember being a kid and playing, and that was so fun. Let's have these come around, not be so... I want this angle. Ooh, look at that, angled. Coming around like that. Playtime. There's no fear when you're playing. When you were playing with your friends when you were a little kid, it was just imagination and play and openness. And that's where we can get to again. The greatest artists get there. Musical artists, composers, painters, filmmakers. They all know what I'm talking about. It's about cultivating your inner experience, not worrying. It's playtime. Look at that. Kind of in front of this dark area, just laying in some ideas just to start. Oh, that's just glorious. Darker color here. Darker color at first. We could put a lot of things going on through here. I like it when it's messy and different, unique. Studying these close up really helps. A lot of times I take photos, but they don't really help. Really, the trick is to just look at them close up for a long time. Just look at flowers for a long time. So long that people are saying, what are you doing? Looking. I'm looking. There. Wonderful. Let's do it on this side now. Yep. See, and it goes over that lighter paint because we used paint thinner. It goes right over it. No problem. But if that was thick green paint, it'd be a little bit harder. If this was thick blue paint, it'd be a little bit harder. So learning to manage those is nice. There. Each little one. Let's make some more. Burnt sienna, orange. Mix those together and have more fun. Coming all the way up. Why not? Let these be fun. Sometimes you can hear the sound of the canvas. I really love it. Listen. See that? When I tap on it, you'll hear that throughout it. You want your canvas to be tight. A lot of artists will wet the back of the canvas before they paint, so that way it's tight. Sounds like a drum. Makes it easier. There we go. Some more. Yeah, looking at irises by Vincent at the Getty Center, I was transfixed. And I arrived early, knowing that the crowds would come, and sure enough, after about 20 minutes alone with those flowers, hundreds of people swarmed around and started taking selfies. I kept thinking, you're not even looking at the flowers. You're just taking selfies to show you were here. Why don't you look? Oh, well, we're busy. In this day and age, this is why I'm doing this. I need it because I'm busy and I'm never looking. And art forces me to look. I have to. If I want to do this show and if I want to paint a painting every week like I do, I'm desperate for material. So when I go on walks out with the family, when I'm looking around, I'm always looking at light and coming up with new ideas. I have to. And I like that way of living. Look at that. Wonderful. Curly, interesting things. Don't be afraid to be weird with these. Now, before we progress, I feel like I just want to change things up and have a big, dark leaf here. So let's grab some more paint thinner with this little brush. Some sap green, burnt umber, a little bit of this blue. Mix those together, make a dark green color. Some more paint thinner. We can come in here and do a little bit of surgery. See that? Bring in a dark leaf growing. kind of behind this guy, coming down. Let's fill this area up. The reason why I want to do this is because I want this dark color here so that way we can have some very bright highlights show up a little bit nicer on these flowers. And having darker colors makes brighter colors brighter. And through here too. Let's darken these areas up and just bring in a little bit of darkness. Little leaves behind here and there, poking through. Let's start working on some of the shapes here of these and giving them a little bit more personality. Bring that one out that way. We can add one behind this one here. Coming out, down. Oh, that's fun. Just considering now. See how we made some shapes and now we're refining them and it's becoming more and more of a thing. I like this really big dark one right here. Let's think about the shape here. Have it come towards us. There. Right in front of everything. That's nice. This one here we can... And a lot of times with leaves they can start looking very... circular. So I like to use lines, bold lines. Make things a little bit more straight. There. Some more of that darker color. I like that. Burnt umber, blue, make almost a black. Let's get this dark down here. Very dark colors. And some down here. If you are painting along, I encourage you to do your own thing. Don't listen to me. You can paint along for inspiration, but make this your own. You know, make it your own thing. That being said, people message me. They send me wonderful messages where they've shown me, hey, look, I did your painting. And I'm always so happy to see that. So if you paint along and you want to message me and show me your work, please show me your work. Ask me questions. I love having a community, an art community here. And the internet can help us with that. It's a nice thing. It's not always nice, is it? But for communities these days, we can really get connected from across the world. There's people all over the world messaging me. Love that. It's more of those dark colors. Ooh, that's pretty coming out that way. That really works. Okay, before we progress, I want to have more fun with the sky. You thought we were going to leave the sky like this? We're not going to leave it like this. Let's grab white. Let's make this sky thick. A little bit of blue. Let's test that out. Let's see what we got. Let's add some more blue. A little bit more. Let's add some orange, believe it or not. Take some of that blue away. That's nice. Let's add some more blue. A little balance back and forth here. Blue, orange, white. Until I get something I want. We can add a little bit of alizarin crimson to it too. Make it more purple. All right, up here, let's just sort of see. Ooh, that's fun. See, I want a dark sky, darker, so that way the highlights of these flowers can really show up. And look, see how the paint is breaking there? Let's just keep that. Oh, a little bit of orange poked through, that's fine. Let's just keep that. And we don't have to go right up to these, just scrub it in. Scrub that in. Oh, isn't that pretty? Going up to these. Look at that. We can use our paper towel and sort of smudge things around. Why not? Put in some more of the sky. Oh, this is gonna be great. So excited. I can start seeing things, seeing what we're gonna do here. And it's so exciting. Ooh. Messy. Playtime. Just throw it in and don't think twice. There, through here. There we go. Now, hey, down here, check this out. Let's add a little bit of yellow and white. And let's make something bright here. See this over here? Let's add a little bit of orange to it, warm it up. A little bit of blue. A little bit more. That'll be interesting. Oh, a little bit of green. Why not? Make a sky down here that's just brighter, harmonious. Working our way up. You know, you can put green in a sky, that's okay. You can do anything you want to. And we can always change things later. There we go, but, see, this is a very bright color. We want to keep it separate from these dark colors. Just a little paint by numbers technique, just going through here. Reverse sky technique. A lot of people don't like this, but I see it in a lot of the paintings I enjoy, and I like working this way. Through here. At the Getty this last week, I did see a lot of art that really inspired me, and I think it is important to not talk shop too much with other artists, and to not form groups, and to not copy, and to have our own techniques. But finding inspiration by looking at other artists' work is delightful. And if you like doing that, then do it. Look at art. Go to museums, see what you enjoy, and find inspiration. A lot of the art I enjoy I could never do, but I can still find inspiration from it. Oh, fun. Let's bring this up a little bit more. Bold. And put those together. There we go. Kind of going right up to these. Going right up. Thicker towards the bottom. There. Fade that into oblivion. Down here too, let's just fade this away. There. I'm going to discard this paper towel. Taking this one, let's just dab. Remove any excess paint we want to. And this will add a little bit of texture. Make things more fun here and there. Why not? Down here. Just dab. Let's dab up here too. Sort of have fun with our paper towel. Let's consider now. I want to start doing a little bit of some highlight work and things. We won't work on these yet. We'll do a lot more work up here, but let's look down here and sort of consider some of the light that could be hitting some of these leaves. Let's first, before we do our highlights, let's bring in a few darker areas back in. Very, very dark. I want some ultramarine blue. We'll reintroduce some of this ultramarine blue back onto the palette. Make a really dark color here. Right up front. This will bring the eye forward. Sort of like this color. Some ultramarine blue, some burnt umber. Look at that. Pretty much a black. Add some green to it. Bring some life back into it. Very, very dark. Greenish, bluish, brownish color. Right down here. Darken that up. And through here. Now the reason why I like to do this is because when very, very dark colors are up close, it'll make things that are farther away seem farther away. And that's how we create the illusion of depth in painting. I live in Arizona, and we have very little atmospheric perspective. What I mean by that is mountains and things far away usually aren't pale or purple or blue, but I took some photos in California to demonstrate this. Look at that difference between the trees closer up and farther away. California has a lot of haze, and so when we're painting, we can exaggerate that haze. It's not as applicable with this painting, but with many of the landscape paintings I do, that is important. To have dark colors closer up, lighter colors far away, and it just aids in that illusion because it is just on a canvas here. It is two-dimensional, but we're trying to make it look three-dimensional. Another way we can bring things forward is with texture in certain areas. These flowers will have a lot of texture. There we go, some darker colors. I like that. That's great. Dark side of these stems here. Cute. Let's work on this leaf first and bring in these bright colors now. Let's grab some of this white, mix it with this. Add some yellow to it. That'll be nice. Let's try that. Let's try that. Let's have the sun hitting parts. Coming from sort of up here. Some parts are being hit with the sun, some parts aren't. We can make some parts very bright. Make the illusion of sunshine. Let's have that part bright. We can have another part here. It's being hit with the sun. Like that. Hard, direct sunlight. I love this. And I keep bringing up Vincent's irises. There are no shadows. I love Vincent, but I also love shadows. And he didn't. He was influenced by Japanese woodblock prints. When he was in Paris, he became very delighted by them. They were cheap at the time. Now they're highly sought after. Very expensive. But he filled his apartment with them. And he loved that art. And I do too. I do prefer shadows. Yeah. Adding some little character to these. Some things that could be happening here. Just here and there. Some more detail on these leaves. Let's add some bright sunshine to this here and there. Parts getting hit with the sun. Let's grab some more yellow. Let's grab some more white on the palette here. We use white more than any other color. Buy extra tubes of white. You'll go through it like crazy. And I use a lot of paint using this method. I like thick paint. And that's another thing looking at Van Gogh's work. Man, it was like a sculpture looking up close. More paint than you'd ever expect. A lot of paint. So we can do that, especially in the bright parts, to bring the eye forward and have you notice them. Let's get the side of this. See that? Let's make this one nice and bright. Nice good stock. There. Something that could be happening back here. Parts of this could be getting hit. There. Bring that down. Oh, glorious. Make a bit more of a light green color now. So, oh, see that? Sap green and this cad yellow. Makes a very punchy, bright, vibrant green. That is just great. And we can bring in some of that bright green color here and there. We don't need too much. But we can communicate this greenery. Little bits back here. Little bits. Backside of that. A little bit more through here. Hit that. There. All right, time for the main attraction. Let's work on these for a while. I'm sure we'll be jumping back and forth. Taking our little brush, let's consider. Want the center of the flower here. Somewhere around there. Somewhere around there. This one's a bit turned. This one will have some sun hitting it on the inside here. So let's put in some darker colors. Let's grab some burnt umber again. Some of that blue. Pretty much make a black right here. Right in the center. I want some dark colors. There we go. And some more blue. Maybe some alizarin crimson. Let's add that to it. Make something that'll just be dark. There we go, dark over here. Also, let's take this dark color and sort of put in little marks that are showing through past some of these leaves that we made. That'll be kind of fun. Here and there. We don't need to see it all over the place, but just where the flower continues. A lot of seeds here. When Vincent was in Arles, that sunny period in his life, in the yellow house, Gauguin was scheduled to come. He had been paid off secretly by Vincent's brother, Theo. So he had a monetary reason to go. Vincent wanted friends. He wanted to build an art community. So in celebration of Gauguin's arrival, Vincent painted a bunch of sunflowers and put them in the extra room there in the yellow house. And when Gauguin arrived, he was blown away and a little bit annoyed, and he promptly took them down. It's funny how much money was in that room, huh? Millions and millions of dollars, and Vincent didn't know. Maybe he didn't even care. He had no idea in his lifetime how beloved he would be. But during his life, he wasn't loved. The flowers in Arles, France, were an industrial crop made for their seeds. Just, we got to take these seeds and make oil, lamp oil, etc. And so Vincent was the first to paint sunflowers and say, hey, this is happiness. This is joy. And he painted a crop that was industrial in nature and presented it to the world as a joyful thing. And that's why I'm painting flowers here. Okay, let's think about some fun burnt sienna. That's why I pulled out this color anyway. Oh, look at that. Burnt sienna, just plain burnt sienna, why not? I like how dry it looks too. Let's just sort of make little marks. We'll see what happens here, I don't know. Hear that thump? The canvas. Make marks, little seeds, dark ones. Add some texture into this. I want a lot of texture today. We'll work on this and build up texture. That'll be a lot of fun. Tapping marks. Glorious. And through here, this other side, let's bring in some burnt sienna tapping marks. Like a drum. Like a song. And through here. Perhaps coming out of the middle, or cylindrical. But we can just be crazy with it. Mostly about that texture. Okay, I want to bring in some sunlight here. Bringing in some orange. Let's think, what would it look like? Well, let's bring orange and burnt sienna, mix those together. Let's start with that. So now, the sun is hitting this part, the inside of the flower. And these seeds are more vibrant. Maybe this side a little bit. There we go. Through here, kind of a sharp line. Let's decide where the sun's hitting, where it's not. Something like that. Let's have some fun now with this alizarin crimson. Oh, look at that. Let's mix it with that. Vibrant, vibrant, beautiful color. Oh, that's glorious. I love alizarin crimson. What a pretty color. So punchy. I'm bringing some through here. Richen this up. Bring some saturation into our world. Richen it up. Why not? There we go. Okay, now let's bring in some yellow and some orange. Make a very hot, warm yellow. Warm yellow. Add some white to it, bring it up brighter. Add some more cad orange and cad yellow to this palette. Beautiful thick colors. I don't promote any brands, but I do love my Gamblin oil paints because of how thick they are. Very thick. Someone messaged me recently wondering, hey, why is my painting all oily? It doesn't look like yours. Well, I'm using very thick oil paints. That's why. Okay. Let's have the sun hitting some of these just intensely. Same thing. They're all just seeds. But the color would be different if it's being hit with direct sun. Kind of like that. A little bit on this other side. Ooh, isn't that just fun? Little bits here and there. In the middle, not much. There. Oh, that's just great. Some of these, mix it with this, and we can just add a few little guys through here. Make this one more interesting. There we go. That might work. Let's first bring in some vibrant orange. Mix it with that yellow. And we can bring in some vibrant orange colors. There. Nice. Well, some more through here. Don't think, just do. Painting's about doing. Let's mix some of this alizarin crimson into it. Make something different going on. It's fun to mix up colors. Add a lot of different colors. There we go. Oh, and through here. Let's do this one too. Adding this color. Ooh, sort of thinking about what's happening here. Ooh, I like twirling the brush like that. It makes it kind of an effortless, because these get sort of like that. Ooh, I like that. Let's keep doing that. See, we discover techniques. I'm not just rehashing a technique, thinking, oh, wow, that feels right. I do that once in a while, but for this, that's just working. Oh, let's have that come that way. Just have these be a little bit weird. Coming off even longer. Into the sky there. Coming back. These are looking gorgeous, aren't they? If you're painting along, maybe yours is too. But I do understand that sometimes we can be discouraged when it doesn't look the way we want it to. Hey, you got to know, every time I do a painting, I try to get into the habit of taking away judgment while I'm painting. There's no judgment, it's playtime. But when I'm done, and I've had some time, the following day, the following night, I'll sit there for a while and just look and say, what fool painted this garbage? And I'll allow myself to say, that didn't quite work out. That wasn't what I wanted. There's a time and a place for it. That's all I'm saying. Ron Howard, the famous movie director who was originally Opie in The Andy Griffith Show. Famous movie director, he said that. I took that from him. He said when he edits a scene, he says, what idiot filmed this? And then he does the best with what he can at that point. Instead of beating himself up, he says, well, what can I do now? He figures it out. Bring those in. Well, that's a fun technique. Sort of let them come out. There. Sort of come out of it. I like that. And these are just so fun to do because you can get away with anything on these, huh? Okay. All right, time for the intense sunlight. We're going to grab this yellow and some white, mix those together. Create something just a little too much. A little too much. Add some more white to it. Let's just make it crazy bright. And we don't have to mix it up all the way. Look, now we can have the sun be hitting specific parts a lot from back here. A lot on this side, twirling the brush, kind of our final guys here. Add quite a bit here. And some of these, they can be partially hit. Not all the way. The sunlight can sort of be playing across part of them. Look at all that paint I'm putting down. See? There's a lot of paint. A lot of it. Here and there, little bits. But this is the sunshine. This can be very thick. Oh, fun. Very, very fun. Little bits here and there, this poking through. A lot through here. Some more taps. I want some craziness, you know, just some that are a little bit weird. Unruly. Let's have some unruly ones. Oh, good. Now let's do this guy. We'll grab more yellow, more white. Remember, don't mix it up all the way. And we'll have the sun hitting a lot of unruly parts through here. Whoa. Remember, these are kind of coming towards us right here, so I want to just have them be a mess. That's fine. Coming into that, just a big mess. Mess of paint. Let's have some through here. Some through here. Oh, isn't that fun? I want to get some blue down here. These are looking a little too simple. Let's grab some of this deep blue. Sort of just make some designs in these leaves. See that? The shadowy parts of these can be more blue. Have stuff happening here. Just straight up blue down here. That's fine. Ultramarine blue. Through here. Ooh, let's bring some through there. Oh, that's working, that's working. Let's grab more of that blue. Add a little bit of green to it. Green and blue. Dark colors. Have there be a little bit of nonsense going on, you know? A little bit of craziness. Let it just be quick. Make a decision. Put some squigglies down. That's what's fun about this. I mean, the colors can be somewhat natural, but also we are expressing ourselves. We're acting. We're being a little performer here. You can perform when you paint. You can be silly. You can make jokes when you paint. Let's work on this stem here. I want it to be brighter. Stand out more. There we go. Little bits through there. You know, let's have a little action going on down here. Let's bring in some more dark colors. Introduce very, very dark colors. These can be far away, but also have some personality to them. We can just go nuts down here with some orange. Bring that in. Let's bring some alizarin crimson into it. Why not? Look at that. All the way to the corner. Let's just have something crazy going on to remind us that there are more flowers in our world. Through here, some craziness. And over here, just really quick, let's just bring in yellow here and there. And yeah, some more yellow right through here. Sun's hitting stuff. Why not? But we're not painting individual flowers. We're just giving the impression of something. Hence the name Impressionism. There. And we can add some green from these flowers in the distance, farther away. Some green leaves. See that color? That'll help. There are leaves accompanying these. And over here, just fill in the areas with some of this green. And around this guy, let's let this flower be a star. I want some green in here. I've seen green before in these flowers. Let's grab some sap green, a little bit of burnt umber, not too much. Mix those together and we'll add some green. Some undeveloped seeds that aren't quite ready. Still a little bit green. Well, this has been highly enjoyable. A lot of fun. I'm trying to think, what else can we do, you know? Let's add some very, very dark green on this stem down here. Just make it dark on this far side. Make it more three-dimensional. We can do that on this one as well. Just dark. Right along there. There. And some of these other ones, just make some dark. And through here. Got a lot of paint on this palette. Let's just use it up. Remember, the painting is worth as much as it weighs. So let's make it weigh a lot. Make it weigh a whole bunch. Ooh, let's put some through there. That'll be good. Additional darkness. Very thick paint down here. A lot of thick paint. Why not? Paintings like this do take a while to dry. Let's remember that. Take some more of this blue, add some yellow to it, brighten up that blue. See that? And we can just make this hero a little bit more interesting. And through here, I like that lighter blue color. That is fun. Let's add some texture. Well, you've been around for the process. You've seen how it's done. And now when you see paintings like this with a lot of paint, you can see how someone might do it. And this will be around for a while. That's what I love about paintings. You never know how long they'll last and who will see them. People in the future might see this and enjoy it. Ooh, let's make some of these even brighter. Just crazy. Let's add a little bit more white. And just make some of these leaves stand out even more. I want the sunlight to feel intense. We'll add some white to this green. See that? And these sunflower leaves do look like this in the intense sunlight. There, even brighter in parts. Pale green. It's coming through. Intense green. Right through here. Can have some more. There. We can take some more of this, mix some white into it so it's brighter. Mix that green into it. Let's just go crazy now. We can add a few more little things kind of along there happening. And with that, folks, I think we're just about done. Take a moment here and take in this palette. Sometimes I like to look back at all the beautiful colors we used. Some people will clean this up and you can use your oil paints later. Put it back into a tube, use it next time. Thanks for being here today and enjoying this process. And thanks for watching, fellow artists, people who are sensitive, people who look out into the world and say, look at that. It's as simple as that, isn't it? All right. Well, see you guys next time.